Today, we have a bone-chilling story straight from Reddit's No Sleep. This is a tale of an eerie encounter with a stranger who will leave you questioning the nature of fear. Let's dive into The Smiling Man. It was a late evening, just around midnight, when I stepped outside after a long day. I was walking home after spending time with friends, and like most late nights, the streets were nearly empty. The night air was cool, and the streetlights cast long shadows on the sidewalks. It should have been a peaceful walk home, but what happened that night would haunt me for a long time. The clock had just struck midnight, and the shadows seemed to move with a life of their own. As I walked, my footsteps echoed in the silence, and I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Suddenly, there was movement in the shadows, and a figure stepped into the light. The chilling realization hit me. I was not alone. As I walked down the block, something caught my eye. There, ahead of me, stood a man in the middle of the sidewalk. He wasn't moving, just standing still, facing me. At first I thought it was strange, but I didn't think much of it. After all, it's not uncommon to see someone out late at night, but there was something about him. His smile. My heart began to race. Why was he just standing there, smiling? I felt a chill run down my spine. Something was definitely off. His smile grew wider, almost unnaturally so. I hesitated, unsure whether to approach or turn back. My mind raced with questions. Who was he? What did he want? And why was he smiling like that? The man's smile wasn't normal. It was too wide, almost grotesque. His teeth were too white, too perfect. It wasn't just a smile, but a wide, disturbing grin that made my skin crawl. I tried to look away, but my eyes were drawn to him. As I continued walking, my footsteps growing louder in the empty street, the man didn't move. He just stood there, watching me. My heart pounded in my chest, and I could feel the fear gripping me. My hands trembled as I tried to keep my composure. I glanced back nervously, hoping he wouldn't follow. But he just stood there, his smile never fading. As I passed him, I couldn't help but glance at him. I thought that would be the last I'd see of him. But then, something happened that sent a chill down my spine. He started following me. Slowly at first, just a few steps behind. I quickened my pace, hoping to lose him, but no matter how fast I walked, I could hear his footsteps matching mine, never getting louder, but always there. Panic set in, and I broke into a run. My heart pounded in my chest as I darted through the dark alleyways, but no matter how fast I ran, he was always there, just a few steps behind. Desperation took over as I searched for a way out, but the shadowy figure kept closing in. I finally found a hiding spot, holding my breath as he passed by. I peeked out, watching as he disappeared into the darkness, but the fear lingered. I tried crossing the street, thinking that maybe he was just a random person walking in the same direction. But he followed me, crossing without hesitation. I felt my heartbeat in my throat. There was no way he could have moved that quickly, especially since the streets were so empty. I tried to call someone, but my phone was dead. Panic surged through me. I quickened my pace, hoping to lose him. But he matched my speed effortlessly. I broke into a run, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I glanced back, and he was still there, his smile unwavering. Desperation clawed at me as I darted into an alley, praying for an escape. But no matter how fast I ran, he was always just a step behind, his presence a relentless shadow. At that point I was really scared. I couldn't understand why he was following me, but the worst part was that he was still smiling. Every time I looked back, his grin was even wider. It felt like he was enjoying this, like he was savoring my fear. I kept walking faster than running, but he didn't speed up. He just kept walking, his smile never leaving his face. It was like a game to him. His smile grew more twisted and his eyes gleamed with a disturbing delight. I tried to hide, but I could feel his eyes on me, watching, waiting. He was getting closer, and I knew I had to keep moving. My heart pounded as I ran, but his slow, deliberate steps never faltered. It was clear he was relishing every moment of my terror. I turned a corner, trying to lose him. My breath was ragged and my mind was racing. Panic surged through me. As I looked back, the man was gone. My heart pounded in my chest. Just like that, vanished into thin air. It was as if he had never been there. I paused for a moment, confused. Where had he gone? My mind was a whirlwind of questions. There was no way he could have disappeared so quickly. It defied all logic. I didn't know whether to be relieved or terrified. The silence was deafening. Every shadow seemed to move, every sound amplified. I felt trapped in a nightmare. My confusion turned to dread. Was he still out there, watching me? I had to get out of there, but my legs felt like lead. The terror was paralyzing. As I continued my walk home, I couldn't shake the image of that smiling man. What was his intention? Why did he follow me? These questions haunted me. I still don't know, but I've never walked home that late at night again. The fear lingers, a constant companion. The memory of that smile stays with me, and now I can't help but wonder if I'll ever cross paths with him again. And if I do, I don't think I'll be so lucky next time. The thought chills me to the bone. Every creak, every shadow reminds me of that night. The fear has become a part of me. I can only hope that our paths never cross again. But deep down, I know the fear will never truly leave.